Gorillatag just leaked one of their biggest updates, and it looks insane. So let me explain. But before we start, here are my 5 most recent subscribers, so if you want to be part of this list, make sure to subscribe down below. Anyway, carrying on. Recently, Gorillatag leaked their own custom mods. And if you don't believe me, keep watching until the very end, as this is honestly one of their biggest updates coming very, very soon. And we're going to be talking about the pros and cons of this update. So recently, on the Gorillatag's official YouTube page, we had a video where they used custom mods. So let me show you this video, and throughout the video, I'll pause it and explain about what each thing is.
Okay, now I'll jump.
So as we can see in this video, we actually have custom Spider-Man slingshot webs.
And I will never be caught, so I don't have to worry about this.
And we can also see someone go flying past the camera. So as you just saw, there are actually many different mods in this video that we can get to choose from.
Whoop. See what I mean?
And this will be on standalone headsets, so anybody can use these. But from what I saw a slingshot web, fly mods such as rockets, and a big multi-selector one where you can choose more than one. And yes, I know that while it's still cool to have, there are also still a few other pros and cons. So I'm going to be talking about them right now. We will start with the pros of having in-game mods. These mods are very cool, and they have a lot of pros. Some of these being more inclusivity for everyone playing, so no one can feel left out, and also always experience the mods, so it's not only limited to people on Steam. They also are very cool as it brings a brand new mechanic to the game that you can play and try out with your friends, meaning you can do anything in Gorillatag with these mods, and you can make your own trolling videos, etc, with the mods being added to the game probably every week. This just makes Gorillatag a lot more fun and brings a whole new excitement to the new players and to players who haven't experienced having mods before. But there's a couple problems with this, which is where the cons come in, as these cons are actually huge problems. So let me explain a bit more about these. You'd think that standalone mods wouldn't be a problem and they're just fun for everyone to enjoy. However, with these actually brings a lot more problems than I think it would solve. This is stuff such as literally in the code of conduct of no cheating or mods allowed, unless it's the legal mods such as Great, Bark or Gorilla Shirts mod. And I know it's Gorillatag making these, but it just makes people think that it's okay to mod and do illegal modding, which is where the bigger problem comes in, of people getting banned and stuff like that, and Gorillatag literally telling you to report modders. It's sort of just telling the community a completely different side of the story to what you've literally told everyone to obey. And this video is no hate to Gorillatag, as it's completely their game. I'm just making some videos about it and explaining the situation to those who may not have seen it or may not think about these side of the story. Me personally, I think that it's quite cool having these mods, but also seeing these other cons and thinking about the problems that Gorillatag are going to cause themselves, such as escaping the map, breaking the game, doing more glitches than they could at the moment. It just adds more problems than I think it may actually fix by letting people just have mods. And yes, of course, I know Gorillatag isn't stupid and they'll probably find ways to combat this, but still, it's the idea of having these mods and telling people, oh, here are some mods, you can play around and try this. It just gets that in their head to think, oh, I'll do some illegal modding on my PC when they get a PC or something like that, and it just brings more issues for the other community and actually in a way makes it a bit more toxic. Con number 2 is actually just the glitches, as we spoke about briefly earlier. As with mods, you can actually find many glitches to break the game, and I'm 99% sure that Gorillatag would not like this one bit, because then people will find ways to move around the map without getting tagged and stuff like that, and it will just make the game a little bit more toxic and harder to play. And the whole idea with the Gorillatag community at the moment is trying to fix it rather than make it worse. Obviously, I know this is their game, as I said earlier, but from a content creator and a player who's played for many years, and I know I used to mod and I still do mod, but obviously it's legal now, but I can tell you that modding actually does just make the game worse, and no one should do it unless it's the legal mods, which you can only get by using this mod in your plugins called Utila, which will give you some little options at the bottom of your game modes where you can choose a custom mode, which is modded lobbies of every single normal game mode. And this is great for if you want to just play around and mess around with some mods without it having an effect on your actual game and other players' games, which is why I highly recommend, if you want into mod, do only legal mods. Do not do illegal, otherwise you will get banned. And you may or may not know, but I've actually experienced this a couple times and I fully regret it. So Gorillatag, if you're watching this, I'm very sorry, and I did not realize at the time how bad it actually was for the game, which is why I see why I got banned. But now I only use legal mods like Great and other Gorilla Shirts mods, as there are many illegal mods and these are actually very very, very bad for your PC too, as most of them actually have viruses and stuff. Meaning it doesn't actually just hurt this game, it also hurts your PC and all of your internet safety. And I'm sure we all know well about that, as people have had huge problems recently with doxing and stuff like that online. So please make sure to stay safe. And only download the mods that you can trust from the gorillatag modding Discord. That'll be linked down below if you want to join, and only get the legal mods. But that's going to probably be it for this video, as I think I've spoken enough about this. However, if you have another opinion, make sure to comment it down below, as I'd love to hear all of your feedback. Anyway, thank you for watching. If you did enjoy, make sure to click one of the videos in the top corner of the screen and like and subscribe for more content like this. Goodbye.